Hello everybody, this is Commander Strain and welcome back to Armoured Warfare. Today I've got my first ever global operations replay. This is starring myself, Grendel, also from the Revolution Battalion, as well as Caladine, the My.com peacekeeper. Now this game was taken from pretty much a couple of days after 0.18 launched. And really I just wanted to highlight really some of what we did and how the team actually won the game, because that is the most important thing with global operations. I think a lot of people are still unsure really how to go about winning this game mode. Now in the first phase, which we're in now, there's 3 objectives: 1, 2 and 3. Personally, I think 2 and 3 are the strongest objectives that you need to take. 3 because it's right at the bottom of the map and there's very little chance for anyone to be able to get round to the south of the bridge to actually engage you. Whereas the first objective, number 1, at the north of the map, well, there's opportunities where any team going in for that objective could get surrounded. And of course the carrier in the middle, that's a pretty strong objective, and a lot of people I've seen just solely going for objective 2. But I think in phase 1, to win this, you need to hold 2 objectives. If you hold 2 objectives, you can take a healthy lead into phase 2. Now, there's been a lot of debate over PvP versus PvE and which is best. In this game mode, actually what I'm finding is the PvE players who are focused on actually getting to objectives tend to play initially this really, really well. They know that they've got to secure objectives because that's part and parcel of what PvE is. I found a lot of the PvP players that solely do PvP are really just concentrating on shooting each other, and that just doesn't work. You cannot win a game of global operations by just killing AI tanks and enemy tanks. So as you can see here, we've taken the bridge. I've got Caladine with me, Grendel. We're working as a platoon, trying to support each other as best we can. We've secured 3. We've also, as a team, secured base 2. And we haven't taken base 1. But, at the initial parts, where we are now, there's not too great a lead. But as time goes through the replay, and as we hold this objective and defend it, because it's all well and good taking an objective, but you've also got to defend it as well. Now the risky position and why this map is so great is this end you are exposed from shots from the carrier in the middle. And again, base 1, you are also exposed a little bit to shots from the carrier. So you've got to actually angle your armour, use your frontal armour against the tanks ahead of you, but you've also got to defend to your right. And there's some great positions on the little artificial hills on both sides of the map, just to the I think they're in the I3 and the I6 area. They're pretty good positions, especially for ATGM launchers. So we are almost getting towards phase 2. We're still holding objective 2 and 3. Grendel here has moved up. We've done a little bit of damage, not a lot, but a little bit of damage. Grendel's on low health, but he's moved up. We've secured this, and now it's time to push a little bit further along here, just to try and secure any more tanks that are down there, while still holding the objective. Now, the risk with this game mode is you can see you've got 3 spawn locations. So there's always a chance that when you actually push across onto the enemy side, you're going to go straight into a spawn location. Now, Grendel gets taken out there by, I think, a Leo 2AV that is just down to our right. And there you go. They've also now just captured a bunker. And these bunkers fire ATGMs, and they can be pretty nasty. Now we've got 2 Leo 2AVs coming up at us. We're doing okay. With Grendel dead, there's me here and there's Caladine behind me in the BMP-3M. But the Merkava is an extremely strong vehicle. Now we're backing out. I'm looking at the clock. I know that phase 1 is almost over, and I need to be thinking about repositioning to get objective 4 and objective 5 in phase 2. But there's still 2 Leo 2AVs to defend against. And we've got to stop them coming across here and trying to capture this very, very late on. And as you can see, there is already a substantial lead in the points. Caladine's there firing his ATGMs. We zoom out so you can see a little bit more of the action. We've taken a few hits, and now there's a Chieftain Mark 5. So there's 3 MBTs coming at us, but we're in a really strong position. The Merkava 2D is an awesome vehicle front of them. We pop some smoke. I'm looking again at the clock, thinking it's almost time. Phase 1 is going to end, and there we go. Phase 2 has impacted. So we pop the smoke, and we pull back as quickly as we can. As you can see, the enemy MBTs, the Leo 2 AVs, they're also pushing now up the 3 line, heading towards Objective 5. So that is our next battle. But I'm also wary of exposing my side to any vehicles, any TDs or tanks that are still there. Looking at the mini-map, I can see we've already got a Leo 1A5 heading towards Cap 5. Cap 4 seems fairly empty at the moment. We're close enough to Cap 5. We're going to get in there. Enemies start capping Cap 5. As you can see, the timer there. Again, we've got a good lead at the end of Phase 1 and into Phase 2. It's looking pretty good so far. Great interrupts from our team there. And we're just pushing now towards Cap 5. And it looks like there's going to be the mother-all battles to try and control Cap 5. Looks like we've got an ERC heading into Cap 4. He's got very little support. There's a Chieftain Mark 5 and an XM1 over in the the A5-6 area. That's a PvP player, I'm sure, because he was concentrating on taking out enemy tanks rather than objectives. But now he's moving south and he's heading for 4, so that's really good. And the team was fantastic here. Now this objective here, this Objective 5, is on the bridge. So it's exposed from many, many locations. But we're a Tier 7 tank in a Tier 5, 6, 7 battle. So we have the ability to absorb a great deal of damage and while inflicting a little bit. And there's another kill there. So I'm on 2 kills now. We've done only 2,503 damage. It's a fairly low damage so far, considering we are, a fair few minutes into the game. But what we've done is we've focused on objectives. Now, our team have got Objective 4, which is great. We're still fighting 5. I've got tanks ahead to my right and my left. So I'm only just now pushing into the cap circle. Getting up to here, trying to cover my lower plate. But I'm swinging my turret from left to right. So I am exposing weak areas on the side of my turret to these tanks. We're slowly taking as much time as we can to get accurate shots in and get some kills. So we just taken out our 3rd kill there. And we're just now aiming. We've got 4, we've got 5. We're trying to capture now one of the wildcard objectives, the drones. And here we are. There's still a Chieftain Mark 5 over there. We take him out. Fantastic work. Now I'm looking now what's going on. 4, the enemy team are now trying to take 4. But we have got a huge lead in this phase. And as long as we can try and just defend them, stop them taking it, that lead is going to continue. And that is absolutely what we as a team need to do. And there we go. We're going to Phase 3. Objectives have changed. We've got 4 more objectives. Now I get kind of a bit crazy here. I decide that's it. We're pushing over. I want to take 9. I want to be aggressive. I'm really hoping my team actually do something and back me up and support me. Alas, I get some movement from my team. You can see there's a couple of MBTs pushing forward. But again, you've got to look at where the spawns are. And as we come round here, I'm heading in there. There's a Chieftain Mark 5 with me, another MBT. We swing round, and then I see more tanks just spawning up there. They were looking like they were going for one of the drone objectives. I pop smoke. Smoke gets popped. And there's an M1134 over there. I'm not watching my mini-map at the moment. It's a Leo 2 AV that's sneaking up behind me. I'm focused on this Chieftain Mark 5 and this Leo 2 AV. And this is where you have to work as a team. Great work from this 2 AV. Coming right up behind me. I've got 1 tank in behind, 2 tanks ahead, and they dominate. They push and kill me. Our Chieftain Mark 5 is still over there, but he gets taken out very, very soon. There's a swarm heading for this objective. So at the moment, we've secured 6, we've secured 8. 7 and 9, which is on the enemy side of the map, have been as good as secured by the enemy team. So we just take the camera out to an external mode while we wait, because the replay system doesn't show all the picking your spawn points and looking at where you are. And then we get back into it, and here we are. We're back in. So we decided to spawn at the middle. I want to get across, but I don't want to be too far south. So I want to head to the middle part of the carrier and see if we can maybe push across there. But I'm also looking at what's going on all the time. Now we've got a 1,000-point lead now. But in Phase 3, it's 2 objectives each. So although it's a very, very good chance that we're going to win from this point forward, if the enemy team did manage to capture 6 and capture 8, that points differential could change considerably, because they'll also have to kill us to get there. Fortunately for us, we are now pushing on and trying to capture 7. We've pushed across the bridge onto their side of the map, and we're doing really, really well. 9 is still heavily defended by the enemy. We're up to 4,704 damage as we're pushing in now. Mr. Speedy from the Revolution Battalion is on the enemy team. And I don't think we get to see too much of him in this battle. And here we go. So I'm now pushing up. The bridge is there. We're just fighting to get across here. And at the moment, it is literally just damage. We have 3 objectives. We have a substantial points lead. It's now just trying to clear out and push across. Looking at the minimap all the time, I'm very, very wary about what we can do with some of our other captured bases. And I'm also looking at our XM1 over defending Cap 7. And he's doing great. They've got a couple of TDs heading for Cap 7, but we are going to hold it. So really, as you can see now, it's 78-69. We have got this game in the bag. But this is why capturing objectives is so very, very important. It's the most important thing in a global operations games. Well, that's it for me. Go take a look at the results screen. Looking at the post-game stats, I did 6,269 damage. I got 5 kills. I finished second in reputation on my team with a base reputation of 4,297. But if you look at our team, the whole team did really, really well. The platoon was great, but the team worked to achieve the objectives needed, which is to capture and defend those points on the map. And that is what got us the win. So well played to everyone on the team. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you on the battlefield.